Hello again, this is Sherrie, and this is segment 3 on general anxiety disorder and panic attacks. So I wanted to just review a little bit, but before I do that, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And that is Psalms 118:24. One of the things that we have been talking about is what is anxiety and what is a panic attack. So it's not a mental illness, it is not a lack of courage, and a panic attack will not harm you. So I just wanted to review that again. Today I'm going to finish the series on general anxiety disorder and panic attacks so that we can apply this to our lives, and you can now know how to do the 21-second countdown. Of course, in the link below, I will have Barry's information from his YouTube and his website so that you can purchase his kit. It's wonderful. I'm telling you, he goes over so much information, and I'll talk about that at the end of this third part series. So let's get into it. And again, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch the videos and to learn from my life lessons. I'm not, trying to say that I can cure anything. This is what works for me. And I pray that it will do the same thing for you. So let's get into a little review of last week, or the last video. We talked about observe, embrace, demand more, and trust. So we learned about those 4 steps. Now we're going to go ahead and go through the 21-second countdown. I do have my notes in front of me so that I can remember the details, because there's some important things that I wanted to remember when we're, practicing these things. So, step 1, observe when the bodily sensations you associate with panic come back and are apparent. Begin by observing the sensations as they build. And I know that's really hard to think about and do, but that's really important that we observe what the body is doing. So a lot of times it'll be like, I notice my chest is feeling tighter and my heartbeat is starting to increase. And could this be a heart attack? Well, get excited about these sensations now, because you're in control. Your body is not going to be in control anymore. You're in control. You know what's going on. Get excited about these as they activate your nervous system. Now we know what it is. Remember the parasympathetic system and the sympathetic system. Sympathetic is your accelerator, your gas, and your parasympathetic is your brake. So get excited about this. You genuinely feel excited because for the first time, you're going to be directing and controlling this experience. This is wonderful. Number 2, embrace. Allow all the sensations, regardless of how unpleasant that they are, to flow around your body. The rug of control is being pulled from under your feet by your old friend panic. But this time you're grabbing hold of it and pulling it close in a tight embrace and dancing with it. I love to dance. So that was a good visual for me, dancing with it. Give panic a cartoon characteristic if you like, maybe a small duck with big clumsy feet. It's just whatever works for you. And so that's one of the things that we want to do is that. So the 3rd step is to demand more. Now tell the panic that you're not going to waste any more time with its idle threats. And then it has 21 seconds to initiate the panic attack that it threatens. 21 seconds to do its worst. Bring it. You're not just telling the panic, but you're demanding it. 21 seconds to get as bad as it's going to get. But after 21 seconds, nothing has happened. It must stop making empty threats. This is where you're going to have your control. Whatever the issue is that you fear, it must happen in 21 second frame of time, or your time frame. So if your heart's going to explode, it has 21 seconds to do so. If you're going to stop breathing, then you have 21 seconds to do so. If you're going to faint, 21 seconds. But absolutely no more time than that. By setting a specific time frame, you turn the table and establish clear boundaries of control. This is what we want. In short, you call panic's bluff. If you were a poker game, you would be asking panic to show its hand. This works because it places you in charge of the experience instead of getting tossed around by the sensations of panic and anxiety. It's a very subtle switch in the perception that it enables you to reestablish control. You say to yourself, I'm not going to waste any more time and energy worrying about panic attacks. I have had enough. I'm going to be generous and give panic 21 seconds to get as bad as it's going to get. But after 21 seconds, there's nothing and nothing's happened, then sorry, the opportunity has officially passed. So now, start counting down from 21, going backwards, but be nice and slowly. Don't rattle it off as fast as you can. You'll be like, okay, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. No. Let it, just count it down slowly. Really tease it like you were when you were a child playing a game and you never wanted to reach zero. Teasing it out is the key because it allows you to feel generous. You are really giving panic every chance possible to do its worst. Deep down, you know that there is really nothing to fear and that the ace is hidden up your sleeve. To really tease it out, when you get to the number 5, break the last few numbers down into fractions. For example, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2 3/4, 2 1/2, 2, 1, 1 3/4, last chance, 1 1/2. I really can't wait any longer. 1 and 0. Now the 4th step is trust. Now you can really trust that there's no threat and that you're safe. Incredibly, you've demanded that panic attack should happen and it didn't. You demanded the sensations you feared most would do their worst, and nothing happened. You are still alive and well and in one piece, just like all the other attacks that we've had. You can feel really good because you have shattered the illusion of threat that was hanging over you like a dark cloud. You can see that panic attack never had anything of substance to ever threaten you with in the first place. The game is up and the panic was bluffing. Sure, your mind will still have anxious, well, what if? Thoughts, but with regular practice, these type of thoughts will also fade away. How often should you do the technique? Well, do it as often as you need. For some people, once may be enough. And some people, it may be daily, it may be a week, once a week. It's whatever is going on in your life. So, a lot of it has to do with the situation that you're in. For example, if you're driving or if you're flying and you can't leave that situation, you're kind of just like, oh, well, I can feel it coming. This is something that you can practice on, so that when you're in a airplane or driving, then you can be in control. And even if you need to just keep doing this over and over until the flight's done, you will be in control. You will not have the anxiety that you felt before. And it's wonderful. So one of the things that he taught is to create a heart link. So a heart link. So what I'm going to explain is locking in onto a strong emotion of empathy is the central purpose for this exercise. To do this, we must establish a heart link. A heart link is a memory of a very special moment in your life that triggers a feeling of unconditional love. This special memory will be your heart link. The most powerful heart links are often like a newborn baby, nursing a newborn baby, or for others it could be taking care of a special pet. It could be something as simply as holding a hand of a loved one. And I'm going to share my heart link, and in the future we'll talk about grief and grief recovery, because one of my heart links is holding on to my daughter's hand while she was battling her cancer and she was in the hospital, and the very moment that she went home to the Lord. I will never forget it. It was one of those moments that I completely put all my trust in the Lord, because she had been sick for a long time. And she had told me, Mom, this isn't living. Lying in a bed, not being able to move is not living. And I heard what she had said. And my special heart link was grabbing hold of her hand. And I said, Tabby, go home. Let him take you home. And she fluttered her eyes at me. And I said, Tabby, go home. Let him take you home. And she opened her eyes, and then they went. Then her spirit left. And I could tell that she was no longer bound to the chains of cancer in that bed. She was free. She had freedom in Christ. And I will never forget that moment. It was a bittersweet moment, because I brought her into this world, give her birth. I never dreamed I would be one to help send her home, to send her back to the Lord. And so that heart link is very strong. I miss her every day. And like I said, we'll talk about that in the future, about grief and grief recovery, and how it was the Lord Jesus Christ that pulled me out of my drowning sorrow and put me back on my surfboard of life. So we'll talk about that in the future. So now that you understand what a heart link is, that special memory will become your heart link, whatever yours is. Tabby's is mine. And the most important thing is that when you think about the memory, you start to connect with your heart and maybe even feel a warm sensation in your chest. So you're attaching your anxiety to something that's a good feeling instead of a bad feeling. Once you've decided what your heart link is, close your eyes for a moment and visualize it in detail. Make the memory as vivid and real as possible. That's not hard for me to do. What images do you see? What sounds do you hear? Are there any smells or feelings of touch associated with your heart link? Bring it to life, using all of your 5 senses to recreate it in your mind's eye. And that is your touch, your sound, your smell, your sight, and your taste. Bring it all in, and just whichever ones that is most powerful, bring those in so that you can attach something good to these feelings. Okay, so now I'm going to teach you about a 7-minute exercise. And this 7-minute exercise, what I want you to do is to start by breathing in through your nose, holding it 1 second, and then release it through your mouth like you're blowing up a balloon. So when you're breathing in through your nose, you breathe in. I usually try to breathe in 4 seconds, but you do it however long. So I'll breathe in, breathe in for 4 seconds. And then push it out with my lips. Imagine when you're inhaling that you're directing the air into your stomach area as you allow your stomach to rise slightly. So what I'm asking you to do here, so place your hand over your décolleté area or your upper chest, and one over your stomach or the abdomen. When I'm asking you to take a breath in, I want you to keep your chest as still as possible. You want to move some, but keep it as still as possible. And when you're breathing in, breathe in through your abdomen. So you breathe in, and then you release it. So what I don't want you to breathe in here. No, I want you to breathe into your lower stomach area, your abdomen. So breathing in, hold it, and then breathing out, release. Breathe in, hold, and then release. Do this for a few breaths to establish a comfortable rhythm of breathing. Always allow the air to fill your stomach area first, not your chest. Okay? Don't get caught up with how long each breath should be. Just find a rhythm that's comfortable for you. Breathing in, hold, breathe, and then breathe out. Now place your hand on your heart as you breathe and think about your heart link. Visualize it in detail, bring it to life. So when you're breathing in, you attach your heart link. As you do so, you might feel a sense of warmth underneath your hand as it reflects the good feelings of your heart link. Breathe in, focus on your heart link, and breathe out. Breathe in, focus on your heart link, and breathe out. So you are breathing in, think about your heart link, and now as you breathe out, think or say the words relax, release. So as you breathe out, relax, release. So it goes like this. Breathe in, focus on your heart link, and out, relax, release. Then again, breathing in, Focus on your heart link, and then relax and release. As you're saying the words relax and release, imagine the tension in your body is floating away. So you can think of it like a block of ice is melting in the warm sun. The steam rises off the melting ice, and that's tension drifting away from your body. Each breath is an opportunity for you to let go of a little more tension. Focus on any area of your body that is tense and say or think the words relax and release. Feel the tension relaxing and releasing from your body. My body is where I carry my stress, is going to be in my neck and in my shoulder area. So a lot of times I will raise my shoulders up and then bring it back down, chest out, and say the relax, release. When you're finished in one area, move to the next part of your body that feels tense and do the same thing. Like, let's say it's in your abdomen, do that exercise there. Or if it's in your legs, do that exercise there. So imagine breathing in, hold, and out, relax, release. So to summarize, on the in breath, you will always be focusing on your heart link. And the out breath words, relax and release. Continue to do these exercise breathing in and out for a minimum of 7 minutes. But of course, if you want to go longer, you can go longer, but do it for at least 7 minutes, and that will help your body get trained to deal with the 7 minutes of relaxing, releasing, and understanding that, anxiety and panic is something that our body is doing to help us cope. And so now we're teaching it, and we're going to get control of it to teach ourselves to relax and to release and not give in to the fear. Because once again, fear is a liar, and it is deceiving us to thinking that there's something wrong with us. There's not. You're okay. So that is the end of this series of anxiety and panic attacks. For more information about a holistic approach to recovery, I'm going to, like I said, put Barry's information below so that you can purchase his kit, which he'll actually go into specific help for situations such as anxious thoughts and bodily sensations, insomnia, morning anxiety, phobias, setbacks. He has a lot more detailed information than what I have been sharing with you. This way, if you get this book, you can address other areas in your life that maybe it is a phobia, or maybe it is an anxious thought that is specific, and he does address a lot more in detail than what we've talked about. And if you get a chance, be sure and tell him that I referred you, because I have been doing this for many years, and he'll be tickled. I've actually talked to him on the phone from Ireland. He's a very, very wonderful man and has helped thousands and thousands of people, cope and improvise, adapt, and overcome their general anxiety disorder and panic attacks. So this is a wonderful way to continue to pay it forward. I thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. And if you like what you're seeing, hit the thumbs up. And if you might consider subscribing to the channel, if that's something that you want to do, and then you'll get notifications when I post another video. So with this being said, may you be filled with the fruit of the Spirit, and may it overflow with love, as the fruit of the Spirit is in Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 and 23. And as always, abundant blessings, and you enjoy your day. Thank you.